The movie starts by introducing Alex, a well-known cartel member living in a city. Currently, he is on a mission and picks up his friend Bama. They change clothes in the car and arrive at a diner. They wait for a man to leave his trunk, then intentionally create a fire to distract him. Taking advantage of the chaos, they steal the man's trunk and drive to another location where they meet other gang members. They all are cartels that are professional in cargo hijacking. However, before they can proceed, the police spot them and begin a chase. Alex, who is driving, is soon captured by the cops. He tries to escape into a crowd, finds a busy club, and enters it. The crowded environment helps him evade the police, and he successfully escapes. The scene then shifts to some time later. Alex meets with his superior and expresses his desire to leave the cartel. The man offers him a new identity for $7,000, promising to find someone who can forge birth certificates and a passport. Alex agrees, eager to disappear. Afterward, he goes to a shelter to donate items he no longer needs for his new life. The scene shifts to Sam, a paramedic arriving at an accident scene. A family of 3 is involved, and the father has assaulted the mother. The daughter, Julia, is in shock, and the father argues with Sam's colleague. The paramedic tries to calm him, stating they need to check on his wife. The father continues to insist they leave and eventually attacks Sam's colleague. Meanwhile, Sam tries to stabilize the mother's pulse but is distracted and threatened by the father. She finally uses a weapon to incapacitate him, calms Julia, and instructs her to focus on the timer. Sam successfully revives the mother and regulates her heart rate. Later, Sam vents to her therapist about the job's stress and her feelings of loneliness and responsibility. The therapist reassures her that she is doing well and shouldn't be too hard on herself. The scene transitions to Alex in his sparsely furnished apartment. While cooking, he accidentally spills water on a family picture, frustrating him. He tapes it back and sits on the couch to watch TV. The show he watches is a series about Sam's life, starting from the house incident to her therapy session. The camera then follows Sam living her normal life without cameras around. She makes dinner and watches TV, but this time the show depicts Alex's life, from his mission to seeking a new identity. Sam becomes very invested in the show. The scene transitions to Alex visiting Noah's Ark, a food bank and clothing center, where his father is bedridden. Alex feels bad for his father, but manages to smile. His father suggests Alex take his violin, but Alex hesitates. He tells his father he plans to leave for good, and despite his father's objections, he cannot stop him. Alex takes the violin with him and, looking angry, rushes to buy a cell phone and calls his friend about the papers and passport, which are ready. He then notices black slimy liquid dripping from the ceiling, confusing him, but he ignores it for now. Back home, Alex experiences stressful nightmares and wakes up to find Sam's show playing on the TV. It seems as if the TV is transparent and they can see each other. When Alex says hello, Sam responds, confirming the bizarre situation. He turns off the TV and checks the house for tracking devices or cameras, but finds nothing. He even disassembles the TV, but finds nothing unusual. The scene shifts to Sam telling her colleague about the experience. He dismisses it as a prank, but Sam is troubled. Back at Alex's place, he goes to pick up the papers from his friend, but finds an old partner there with his gang. They offer Alex one last job worth $2.5 million. Initially reluctant, Alex agrees after his partner mentions his father's health. On the way back, Alex sees strange things, like a man painting another man in black and a gigantic castle-like creature in the city. The scene shifts to Sam leaving a laundry. She encounters her mother, who asks for money. Despite initial refusal, Sam gives her money after her mother brings up an embarrassing history. Alex buys a new TV, hoping to learn more. He falls asleep, only to be woken by a sound. His violin had fallen, and when he picked it up, Sam appeared on the TV, asking if he could see her. As there is a knock on the door, Alex is torn between responding to Sam and answering the door. It's his friend, and as Sam's show turns into a commercial, Alex's friend crushes the TV, thinking it is causing Alex stress. Alex and his friend go outside, and Alex rents a motel room. He calls Noah's Ark Center to speak to his father, but when the woman says his father is asleep, he hangs up before she can finish talking. Back with Sam, she is venting to her therapist about the strange things she's been experiencing on TV. He dismisses her literal explanations, believing they are hallucinations triggered by her confrontation with her mother and past traumas. It is revealed that Sam's mother was threatening her about a time when she was homeless and living in stress with her fatherless baby. The therapist prescribes antidepressants and advises Sam to avoid watching TV for a while, suggesting she visit him twice a week until the symptoms subside. Meanwhile, Alex stays in his motel, watching TV intent. He sees Sam's confrontation with her mother and her therapy session. Soon, the scene shifts to Sam, who turns on her TV and sits in front of it. Alex and Sam now face each other, initially blaming each other for the prank. Sam calms Alex down and reveals that she watches his show daily, describing him as a cargo thief who goes on heists. Alex, in disbelief, turns off the TV. The next day, he goes to the local library to research and finds pictures of Sam as if she were a celebrity. Convinced she's on a show, but unsure how she knows about him, he buys a larger TV and waits for her to appear again. When she does, he demands an explanation, but Sam can only tell him his show has been on for 4 seasons. Alex, in turn, tells her details about her life, and they decide to meet in person. However, when Alex arrives at the address, a different man answers the door, claiming he has the wrong address. Meanwhile, Sam waits at the same apartment, but they are in different timelines. Disappointed, Alex leaves and sees the same creepy man in a hat, riding a bike, and pouring black liquid over a car, scaring him away. The next day, Alex visits his father, who is getting weaker. They share a touching moment, expressing their love for each other. Later, Sam is with her therapist, lying about taking her medication and feeling better. The therapist's face appears slightly blurred, indicating a shady perception of Sam's experience. Alex prepares for the cargo heist with the gang. Meanwhile, Sam researches Alex's show and finds the production company's number. Saving it, she watches the preview of the next season, which hints at Alex's ultimate death. That night, she warns Alex, but he only wants to know how this is happening and tells her to meet him at a bridge. They both arrive but don't find each other. Instead, they encounter familiar figures. Sam sees her therapist, and Alex sees his cartel boss. The boss hands Alex a gun for the mission, and Alex receives a call from the food bank center, urging him to visit his father. He arrives to find his father in a dire state, surrounded by people aiding him. Sam witnesses this scene on TV and feels bad for him. The next day, Alex and his team execute the cargo heist. Sam calls the production company but gets no direct response. She watches Alex's show and sees him hijack the cargo truck. During the heist, a shootout ensues, and Alex, despite his fear, takes control of the situation. They retrieve the cocaine, but when a family stumbles upon them, Alex prevents his gang from harming them, ultimately killing his gang members except for one friend. Alex gets shot in the abdomen and drives off. Sam watches the series finale, seeing Alex severely injured. He manages to reach his apartment and rests on the floor. Sam speaks to him through the screen, urging him to call for help, but Alex is too weak and eventually stops responding. Desperate, Sam rushes to the production company's address. There, she is confronted by her therapist, who claims her mother had an accident and is dying. Suspicious of the coincidence, Sam questions his identity. Ignoring him, she enters the building, but the therapist is unable to follow her past a certain point. Upon entering the production office, Sam is greeted by the receptionist, who asks how she can help. Ignoring her, Sam moves to the next room, where she finds a large old screen showing Alex's final moments. She sees another door and enters it, only to find herself back with the receptionist. She tries again, but it leads her back to the screen room. Trapped in a loop, Sam approaches the screen. A typewriter finishes typing the episode, and Sam reads it. It says Alex takes his final breath, and the screen fades out. Realizing this is the script of Alex's life, and it's concluding, Sam quickly takes a pen from her pocket. She crosses out the last statement and writes, "Alex breathes," and his bleeding stops. Immediately, Alex's wound heals, and he miraculously comes back to life. However, the typewriter continues typing on its own. It writes that someone slams Alex's apartment door, and an unknown man enters to kill him, forcing Alex to fight for his life. As the script unfolds automatically, Sam cancels unfavorable scenes, allowing Alex to overpower his enemy. The room's bulb glows brightly, scaring her. She runs out, taking the script with her, and editing it as she enters the elevator and escapes. Outside, her therapist and several nurses await her. He tries to convince her she is sick, but she flees, finding a car to escape in. Both Sam and Alex are now being chased. While Sam is focused on rewriting the script, she is hit by a car, leaving her with scattered pages. Meanwhile, Alex is about to be captured by the man chasing him with a knife. At the last moment, Sam uses the car's electric lighter to burn the papers. She backs away, but another car crashes into her, and her screen goes black. Back to Alex. The burning papers cause everyone in his world to transform into black slimy liquid and disappear. Confused, Alex finds himself in a ghost town. He discovers a TV store and learns from the screens that Sam was helping him by rewriting the script. The accident happened when she backed away from the vehicle and the papers burned. The screen then shows her therapist staring at Alex. Alex is confronted by the shady man in the hat, who explains that the writer controls the characters like puppets, and that the only way a character can exercise free will is by taking their own life. Alex sees a castle growing larger and larger. The man in the hat bikes away, leaving Alex to accept living in the ghost town alone. For the next few days, Alex stays home watching Sam's show, or visits the center where his father was. Day by day, the Black Castle reaches the skies. Eventually, Alex decides to visit the production company Sam mentioned. He encounters the same loop of doors as Sam. When he stops at the screen room, he is trapped by the frame and cannot move. His plan to burn the scripts is thwarted by the frame, which confines him to his apartment. Exhausted, Alex sees his violin next to him and realizes the writer wants him to play. He takes a pen and paper and draws a way out, deciding to jump out of the window. The frame catches him in midair, preventing his death. As he hangs midair, he has flashbacks of his childhood when criminals killed his family and took him captive. This trauma is the frame trapping him. After struggling to escape, he finally gives up, grieving and screaming. The frame picks him up and carries him back to his apartment, dropping him next to his violin. When Alex wakes, the violin is the first thing he sees. As darkness engulfs the ghost town, Alex plays his violin beautifully, piercing the darkness with light and restoring everything to its natural state. This includes reversing Sam's accident. This time, the car passes over her without harm. Alex stops playing, and time freezes as they finally see each other. Sam approaches, laying her hand on him, suggesting their acceptance and surrender to goodness. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.